Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what? I'm back in the building. I'm so excited. Took me a little bit to get back in here because I did get sick. The bell has started, so that means we're going to have a great, wonderful day. Today's Thursday. Some quick parts. I'm going to start doing notes on the computer. Today, I don't have these notes inside the file, but tomorrow's notes will be included in the file so you guys can follow along. Just do what I'm doing, and hopefully, you should be okay. It's okay you don't have a printer. I just want you to have the notes so you can follow along, make your own little notes on the side, and then reference back to it, okay? So let's go over a couple things about discrete and continuous. This is what we were doing yesterday and the day before. All right. So you need to remember that discrete are disconnected, disconnected, which are basically just points. Let's draw a couple points here and there. A lot easier than having to draw it, right? And I should be able to give myself my domain and my range. So remember, domain, if you don't remember what domain and range is, it's Dr. X, Y. Okay? And remember, since it's a discrete function that my answers are in brackets, I saw a lot of good stuff in the discussion yesterday. Very good for paying attention. Remember, this is a refresher. If you want to fast forward, you can. I'm going to do this real quick. Okay? For domain, we're going left to right. Starting with this point. Boom. It's -4. Then we got -1, 1, 2, and 4. And why am I only looking at the number line of the x? Because it's domain, and domain deals with the x. -4, -1, 1, 2, 4. Good stuff. Change the color real quick. Okay, doing the y-axis because it's the range, going bottom to top. Bottom, -4, -2, 1, 2, 3. It's already there. Brackets. We have -4, -2, 1, 2, 3. Oops. Something like that. Good stuff. Continuous function. Today we're supposed to be focusing on linear, so I have a closed circle, open circle, connects. Okay, remember Dr. XY. Go to the doctor's XY, doing the domain first. But in this case, got to remember that we're using symbols. Since it's 2 points, I should be able to do just less than, which is open circle, close circle, less than equal to. But let's start with the number domain. -3 to +3. So I have -3, close circle, less than or equal to. Since it's the domain, don't forget the domain is using my x. Open circle, less than, and then it's on 3. Next one. Again, if you feel you're super confident, you could fast forward. Bottom to top, sorry. Got -3 to +3. So we got -3, close circle, less or equal to. This is the range, so we're dealing with the y. Open circle, 3. Good stuff. Next part. Remember, you can always pause it, look at it, rewrite it. Okay, so here now we're looking at the different representations, and what I mean is vocabulary. So it's discrete, and I read a story problem, I should be able to tell if I can count it. Continue us. I should be able to tell if I can count it or if I cannot count it. If I can count it, which just means it's countable, which also means I could touch it. That means it's discrete. Example, money, cars, people, what else? Supplies, no, like, this is where there's so many things that you can count. The list can go on and on and on. So you just need to think. I can count stuff, pens, pencils, paper, stuff that you can count. That's discrete. Now, if it's continuous, this is where a lot of us get stuck because, yeah, sometimes you can count it, but it's also a form of measuring. So make sure you know the difference between measuring and counting. So some continuous examples. Oh, it's ugly handwriting. Sorry. Measuring. So a couple examples on that is like gallons, water, or I mean gallons and water are the same. Um, Inches. Um, I really don't know. When you read it, you can tell the difference. I promise. I know height. Yeah, you can see the numbers on all these examples, but we cannot touch it. We can't physically touch our height. We can't physically touch gallons. We can't touch the inches. Another one is weight. And that's going to be the difference. Now, again, remember discrete is disconnected, so that means they're points. That's why we can count all those points. Gallons, inches, height, and weight, that's connected because it's all together. We can't stop it. We can't say, oh, I'm just going to grab a piece of a gallon. Oh, I can't grab a piece of inches and so forth. That's going to be the confusing part. Let's look. We don't need to do that because that's in yesterday's. And this is what I mean. Identify key world. I'm pretty sure I meant to put words. Identify keywords to determine discrete or continuous and then make a table. Okay. This is going to be 3 examples. So it's saying Andrea is selling candles at a fundraiser. She spent $50 on supplies for making the candles. She plans to sell the candles for $10 each. The function of her revenues can be modeled by the function below. Okay. What is the range of the function to show profit? I won't lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. I am so happy to be back in the building. Let me just erase a couple things. Do my fingers a little easier. Okay. So, gotta identify some keywords. So we know it's asking about range and the profit. And what's profit? It's the money. So can I count money? Yes. It's talking about money. Can I count it? Yes. So that means that this problem is discrete. So you want to make sure you know what it's talking about. It's discrete. And then we should know that it's talking about points. And since it's talking about points, my answer should look like it's in brackets. Okay. So I said make a table. Why is a table important? Because that's going to give you the numbers that you need. Now, you all know how to make a table because it's just in you. You don't know it, but it is. Check it out. Making a table X, Y. I always like to start out with 0 because this is just a regular function. You start out with 0, 0. Oh, I put white, sorry. 0, 1, 2, 3. Let's just give that a little example. But how do I take on my Y's? Hold on. I wasn't prepared for all these announcements. But anyways, what do I do with these X values? We learned that we're going to take these X's, boom, put them in there. Example, so I know for C of 0, because I'm taking the 0, replacing it, we did this last time, equals 10 parentheses 0 minus 50. You know how to solve that. It gives you the answer. In this case, we're going to get negative $50 because she has not made money yet. So we got negative 50. And we want to see profit. And we keep going. C of 1 equals 10. Put in the 1 minus 50. That's going to give me negative 40. And you keep going up until you get the answer. So let's look at the answer choices just so we have an idea. Of course, this is not profit. This is negative stuff. So we determined that it was discrete. So hopefully you know, since it's in brackets, we get to cross this out and this out. And then after that, it's asking about the range. So when I put the table and I go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on, those are my X's. So that's right here in this part. And then we went on the range. So hopefully if you guys did all the work, you should determine that it's B. Very important. Okay, next one. Let me zoom out a little bit. Right there. All right. Mary deposits $550 into a savings account at 30% simple annual interest. The value of his account V is determined by the function below, which is T is the number of years the money is in the bank. What is the domain of the function after 50 years? Keyword, domain. So it's talking about my X values. Right away, I can cross out an answer. So now we're doing it with answer choices. Next. Actually, check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Since I already took out that answer, I can see that X has 550 and 565. So that gives me this answer also. So now I just need to determine if it's discrete or continuous. But what is this question talking about? What is the domain of this function after 50 years? So it wants to know how much money. So a lot of these questions are talking about money. And what is money again? Is that discrete or continuous? That is discrete. So we didn't even have to do any work here, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't have to do any work. Since it's discrete, you should know from the notes before that discrete is in brackets. That goes boom. So what's the difficult part in this thing? It's just reading. Reading, reading, reading. Next one. This next problem, I am going to erase the equation. I know you already probably saw it. Oh no, then I'll just leave it up there. A hot air balloon begins its descent towards the ground from an altitude of 1,800 feet. The balloon descends at a rate of 360 feet each hour. Using the function below, determine the domain of the function after 5 hours. Okay. Keyword, domain. So we know we're looking at the X. Can already cross out My y, that was 1800, so that means I could take this out. And then we determine what the plan is. Now, can I measure how much a balloon is coming down back to the ground? Can I count that or can I measure that? Think for a second. We can also see, okay, it's talking about time. Can I count time or can I measure time? Hopefully you can see that this is with feet, inches, and all the other stuff is all similar in time. That means that this is a continuous function. So since it's continuous, I should be able to know, okay, we're using my inequality symbols. So that gives me the answer C. Not too difficult. Now, the difficult part that I want to talk about real quick before I end this video is making this equation. Okay? Now, when we make an equation, we need to make sure we circle or highlight or whatever we got to do with the numbers that are needed, which is, it starts at 180 feet, which is where we get that plus 1800. The 360 is right here, and it's a key word because next topic, this is my slope, just so you have an idea, and I'll give you more definitions later. Okay, so if you see the keyword each per, that means that's my slope. Now you might be asking yourself, why is it negative? Well, because it's descending, so that means the balloon is going down. And what happens when we're going down? We're going negative. Okay, that's all I want to talk about for today, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, and then tomorrow will be another day for domain and range. Then you have to make up your grades. Make sure you have all the grades finished, and I'll have an enrichment if you want to get ahead on slope. Okay? You all have a terrific day. Happy Thursday.